Angel Reese, she continued her long-standing tradition last night of not selling out home games.
Angel Reese won her first WNBA game, facing off against Paige Bueckers, another rising star who some believe could become the face of the league instead of Caitlin Clark. Despite the presence of two high-profile players, the arena was largely empty. Ticket prices had dropped to as low as $20, and only 41 tickets were sold before tip-off. The buzz on social media didn't translate to real-life excitement, a clear sign that online hype is drifting further away from genuine, on-ground support.
Paige Bueckers is coming to town. Shout out to Santa Claus. Paige Bueckers, you guys get it. And in their first matchup, they draw a whopping 9,025 people. Where are you guys at? Where are you guys? Where are the Paige Bueckers supporters? Where are WNBA supporters? Where are the Reese's Pieces? Where are you guys at?
While ESPN continues to push the narrative that Angel Reese is the face of the league, largely because of her massive social media following. However, when it comes to filling arenas and capturing national attention, it's becoming harder to deny that Caitlin Clark is the true driving force behind the WNBA's recent surge in popularity.
Ooh. Who has the most TikTok followers? Ooh. Who has the most Twitter followers? Ooh. Who has the most Instagram? Who has the most this? Who has the most that? Who has the most viewership? Who has the most attendance? Who has the biggest impact on the game? We all know the answer to that question.
Let's get to the game itself, because what happened on the court will truly leave you stunned.
I mean, after all, this is the #1 most followed WNBA player on Instagram, followed by the #3 most followed WNBA player on Instagram. And last night, they were in the Wintrust Center, the Wintrust Arena, which holds a capacity of 10.
Angel Reese's latest performance came with high expectations, and the matchup against the Dallas Wings had all the ingredients of a headline event. It was held at Wintrust Arena, a venue that seats nearly 10,000 fans. But surprisingly, the game didn't sell out.
I put on a show. So when you see Angel Reese and Paige Bueckers locking horns for the first time in the WNBA, you would expect a sellout.
Yes, you heard that right. One of the most talked about games of the season featured Angel Reese playing on her home court with a massive online following, going up against Paige Bueckers, another rising star with a strong fan base. Yet, despite all the star power and hype, the arena remained surprisingly empty for a game that should have packed the stands.
This was a traumatic experience, but I was also confused as to why this game was being played at Wintrust Arena. Correct me if I'm wrong here. Paige Bueckers is a big star, right? According to the mainstream media.
Even with a reported attendance of 9,000, many are beginning to question whether that number was actually accurate. Why? Because during the entire broadcast, not a single wide shot of the crowd was shown. Suspicious, isn't it? And remember, this wasn't a massive venue. Wintrust Arena is one of the smaller arenas in the state.
Now, according to the media, these are two of the biggest stars in the dump, but for some reason, this high-profile matchup was not moved to the United Center, which I believe is the largest arena in the NBA. With an event of this magnitude, you would think the WNBA would take advantage and move it to an arena that could accommodate an actual crowd. But for some reason, the diva of Dump Divas, Kat Engelbert, she decided to keep the game at Wintrust Arena.
And then there's the ticket sales. Oh boy, you'll want to hear this.
30 minutes before tip-off last night, I checked StubHub to see how many tickets were available. As I pulled up the game, I was greeted by a nice message. Hey there, Angel Reese fan! I see you're interested in tickets. You better hurry. These tickets are hot, hot, hot. We have sold 41 tickets in the past hour. Get them while you can.
Tickets were priced as low as $20. Yet fans didn't exactly rush to buy them. In fact, only 41 tickets, yes, just 41, were sold in the final hour before tip-off for a game featuring two of the league's most recognizable names. That's simply embarrassing.
Nearly 1,000 tickets didn't get sold for this game. #1 most followed WNBA player? Paige Becker is the most hyped WNBA player since last year. Very interesting how that works.
This starkly contrasts with the hype surrounding players like Reese and Buchers. While their followings are massive, Reese being the most followed player in the WNBA and Buchers not far behind, the uncomfortable truth is that Instagram likes and TikTok views aren't converting into actual fans filling the seats. A sellout. Never materialized, and when murmurs about the sparse crowd begin circulating inside the arena, it's clear something doesn't quite add up.
Reebok, shout out to Reebok, they go all out for your girl. Reebok already, we're going to make this Angel Reese's signature logo. They already have a couple PEs ready to go. They have her clothing line. Reebok's behind your girl. Reebok's pushing your girl out there. But how come it's not translating into attendance?
There's a noticeable gap between the hype and the reality. Angel Reese's social media presence is impressive, and the WNBA highlights this, along with endorsements like her Reebok deal, as proof of growth. But where is the genuine fan engagement? If she truly is such a major attraction, why didn't more fans attend? The arena wasn't full, and the broadcast felt surprisingly low budget for a game promoted as a marquee event. It simply lacked the energy one would expect.
Tip-off. Now, as you can see right areas, these are the areas where tickets were still available. 30 minutes before the game, damn near the entire arena was up for sale. For less than $20, you could see these two legends in their own minds compete for the first time in the WNBA dunk.
Caitlin Clark is frequently compared directly to Reese, and, whether people like it or not, her absence is being felt everywhere. Games without Clark aren't pulling the same TV ratings or ticket sales. While the WNBA may emphasize Reese's popularity, the reality is that Clark is the one genuinely capturing the national spotlight.
Recognition doesn't always equate to ratings. Social media followers don't equate to attendance ratings. The Chicago Bravado, they have had 2 home games this year. 2 home games against what the media would call high-profile teams, the New York Equality and the Dallas Wankers. And neither game was a sellout. Matter of fact, both games had the exact same attendance number, 9,025. What's the odds of that? What are the odds that 2 back-to-back games have the exact same attendance number?
But let's be honest, there's something fishy about the reported ticket sales. Maybe they've been inflated to boost Angel Reese's image. Caitlin Clark's injury is more than just a disappointment for fans. It's affecting the entire WNBA. Ticket sales are down, viewership is slipping, and the games lack the energy that Clark brings. Without her, the league just doesn't feel the same. The WNBA needs to confront the reality that it relies too heavily on one player to draw crowds.
The ratings came out for the Indiana Fever without Caitlin Clark game. I saw some people actually trying to spin this as a positive, and I was like, they're like 235,000 viewers. How is that a positive?
To put it simply, Caitlin Clark moves the needle whenever she's on the court. Every moment feels significant. Take the Fever versus Mystics game as an example. When Clark played, the broadcast attracted 581,000 viewers. Without her, the same matchup barely drew 357,000 viewers. That's a massive drop, and even casual fans can tell the difference. Clark is one of the few players who turns a game into a must-watch event. Compare that to the Liberty versus Fever Game 1, one of the league's biggest rating successes in years. Clark was on the court, and the broadcast peaked at 3.34 million viewers.
And we know now if Caitlin Clark plays on Ion, it's a million viewer game. Back on and play was happening. In fact, they showed back up, a play happened and there was a foul. And we showed back up as they were like readjusting themselves from a foul happening. So I don't know how much we actually missed, but you cannot have that if this league hopes to grow. You can't have productions coming back late to these games. Amazon Prime. In my opinion, the WNBA still has a major problem with the Indiana Fever and Caitlin Clark still looking like the only draw. In my opinion, these ratings are pathetic, and the leagues to change the rules to make the game more enjoyable. I mean, they got a problem. And if this team plays like it played last night, the WNBA's got a serious problem. Okay? Because let's say you were still keeping some casual viewers, you will lose them if they believe this team is not good. Disaster. And a lot of people were like, well, Caitlin Clark's not growing the game if people won't tune in with her. Look, people tuned out when Jordan went to baseball. They tuned out of the NBA when Jordan went to baseball. And then when Jordan retired, they tuned back out again until Kobe. Yeah, if these leagues are going to succeed, it's not the hardcore fan. They got to have the casual viewer. There's nothing to pull in the casual.